Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be painting some avocados, my favorite fruit. I decided to paint this one because I feel like I haven't done, I really haven't been doing, so much of still life painting, and I love to paint close up subjects. So I'll be linking down in the description box below the link to the reference image that we'll be using for today's tutorial. Let's begin now. I'll be using some chalk to sketch first my subject, and actually I cleaned my studio today and I found some old chalks that I thought I lost, and now I'll be using them. I'm just so glad. I think I need to buy a box of chalk for sketching purposes because sometimes I just want to use chalk, not pencils. So let's begin now. So I've already taped on the surface the canvas paper that I'll be using for today's tutorial, and I'll be using a yellow chalk to sketch my subject. I think this is relatively easy, but you know how much I love to paint still life. Right, so again, I'm not really using any tracing material here. I'm just gonna go with it, and we will adjust it later if we have to, but we might not. It all will depend on how the painting will go. So most of the time, if not all the time, I'm just eyeballing everything. I'm just eyeballing my paintings when I sketch them or when I draw them. Of course, you can always refer to the reference image that I'm using for this one. Alright, so that's basically the shape of our avocado. It's split into two. I don't know if you can see the yellow color. It's too bright for my liking, but it kind of helps me as well. Okay, I'm gonna sketch the seed. So like that. Okay. Again, everything will be adjusted later. For now, let's just shape, let's just identify the shape of this avocado. Alright, that's basically the shape of it. Alright. Okay, so now let me tell you the colors that I'll be using for today's tutorial. Since we've already done sketching it, it's quite easy, as you see. You can, there is no right or wrong or perfect way of doing this because we're painting a natural subject, and natural subjects are not physically the same. They cannot be physically the same, especially shape wise. They all come in different shapes and sizes and forms. So your avocado might be slightly longer or shorter or rounder or slimmer, but mine, this is how I see it from the reference image. And don't worry about being able to copy this the exact same thing. We're here to actually study the colors of subjects, and I'm here to teach you some techniques that I know, and I hope that I'm helping you with that. So we're just here to study the colors. We're not here to get the exact photocopy of what I'm doing. So I hope that makes sense. And the colors that I'll be using are as follows. We have phthalo green, green oxide, burnt sienna, black, cadmium yellow or mid yellow, and titanium white. So I'm gonna underpaint first my avocado, and I'm gonna be using, or I'll be using a square brush for this one. Again, as I always tell you guys, it doesn't really matter what type of brush you use. Of course, it is important that you get a good quality brush, but it's not really important what type of brush you use as long as it gets the job done. I hope I'm making sense, guys, because I really am not that teacher, online teacher who gives you like, use this brush for this and this. I think I don't even care. I mean, for my own paintings, I don't even care what brush I use, as long as it gets the job done, as I keep on saying. Okay, so I'm gonna wet my brush now, and I'm gonna use for the underpainting some combination of yellow, cadmium yellow, and then tiny bit of burnt sienna to tone down the color, like this color. Tiny bit of black, just to again tone down the color. I think this is too dark. I'm gonna add white, okay, like this, and yellow. So it's like muted yellow. I just removed the brightness of the yellow. So I'm gonna use that to underpaint my avocado. So we're just gonna go around the meat of the avocado. Again, we're underpainting, guys, so don't you worry too much now. It's okay to worry sometimes about your painting. It means that you are actually, you know, engaged. But this is not the time for worrying too much. We're just underpainting it, trying to identify the color underneath. All right, like this. Okay, and then we will be using the same color on the same side. Okay, maybe I'm gonna add tiny bit of white because we will be actually the light is coming from this side more, so it should be a little lighter. Okay, gonna add more brown like this, more yellow. All right, I think this is good. I'm just gonna underpaint this area. Like that. So that's basically the underpainting of the meat of our avocado. All right, we'll be using the same color inside, but I didn't want to just, you know, do the or to paint the whole thing. I want to retain the chalk so that I could still identify where the highlights are gonna go, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna use the same color, maybe add a tiny bit of brown, yellow. I'm just gonna use, if not the same, almost like, if not the same, similar color, and I'm retaining the chalk section so that I still get to pinpoint where the highlights are gonna go later. Yeah, that's basically it. And if you really want to cover it, you can slightly like that without actually removing the line. I think this is for beginner purposes. I mean, I can actually do that, but just to help those who are just beginning to paint or starting to paint, like that. So you can still see it, that line, okay? And now I'm gonna underpaint the seed portion. We're just underpainting, guys. The details will come later. So I'm gonna use the same color, only that I'll be adding more brown, some black, and then some yellow, like this. Maybe more black, I think. All right, like this color. So it's like dark brown color. And again, we're underpainting. This is not the actual color of what we're trying to go for. Right, like that. So we just underpainted the seed portion. Now we're going to underpaint, or we're going to paint the skin. So we can use another brush for that one because it's quite liney. I mean, using this square brush might be difficult for us to make some clean lines. So I'm just gonna change brush. I'm gonna use a smaller square brush. I'm gonna use for the underpainting that some phthalo green and black. All right, like this. Okay, like this color. Don't remove the greeny color. Just add black, making it super dark green. Okay, and let's just go around this area. And again, if you're hearing some background noise, like a traffic noise, that's because I'm near my window, and just outside or in front of my building is a main street. So yeah, you'll always hear that. If you've been to my channel for quite some time now, you're probably used to it or probably annoyed by it. Okay, I'm just gonna go around it. Like that. Alright, like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna go do the same thing right here. So it's just phthalo green plus black. It's actually raining again in my place. And yeah, if you can hear some raindrops, that's because it's raining. So again, just like what we did here, we're just gonna go around the second half of the avocado. Like so. Okay. Alright, now you can wash your brush out. Let's proceed to doing some detailing. And for the details, I'm gonna get some yellow green. I'm gonna use my green oxide plus cadmium yellow. Alright, then maybe a tiny bit of phthalo green and more yellow to make it really yellow greeny color, but still muted, not bright yellow green. Okay, maybe I'm gonna add a tiny bit of white just to mute down the color. Alright, and then I'm gonna use this greeny color to go around again those dark greeny color that we have. So just go around it, and again I'll be using my fingers just to kind of apply it smoothly on my canvas. Just like that, and I'll be doing the same thing right here. Like that. Right. Okay, let's leave those for a while like that, and then I'll be moving on inside. So let's let's highlight first the seed. So for the highlight of the seed, I'm just gonna use some light brown. Okay, I'm gonna add titanium white, tiny bit of yellow, what do you call this? Cadmium yellow, All right, and let's make some highlights. As you can see, I'm doing this technique of lightly applying my watered down light brown color, like so, like that. And I'm using my fingers to kind of apply it unevenly on the surface, because that will help me create the texture that I want for the seed. It's all about technique, guys. If this technique does not help you at all, you can simply use some sponge to unevenly apply it. But me, I'm using this one. Alright. Now I'll be using pure burnt sienna with a lot of water. Okay. And maybe I'm gonna add a tiny bit of black. And I'm gonna use again the same method. The same technique, I mean. Watering down my dark brown and kind of applying it randomly on my, like this portion. Okay, and then I'm just gonna try to tap and to dab like this. And I'm just outlining the seed with some black and a brown combination. Like that. That, and then I'm gonna allow this first to dry because it's difficult for me to layer over wet paint, so that I can add more detailing later. For now, let's just allow that to dry. Let's move on to the next one. I'm gonna wash my brush out, and we're going to highlight the hole inside this second half. So for that, I'll be using some brown, some cadmium yellow, like so. I'm just gonna go around it. Like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna use the same color to kind of darken the inside of this part of the avocado. Just darkening it without creating any hard lines, like that. Okay, all right. Okay, now I'll be using some white plus yellow and brown. White, tiny bit of brown. And I'm gonna use this color to go around certain areas quite randomly. Thereby highlighting some areas. Okay. Now I'm gonna go back to using some brown and cadmium yellow mixture. Okay, maybe add white. Alright, like this. Let's go back to darkening some areas right here. And of course, I'm gonna use my fingers to apply it. Like so. And also here around this area. Like so. All right. Yep, that's how I like it actually. Okay, now I'll be using some light yellow color. Okay, so just add white to your yellow, and then let's just make some areas quite light to give our avocado some depth. Like that. I'm gonna make some white markings right here. You know what I like about painting nature or natural subjects? They're quite imperfect, which I like. I don't like perfect subjects. Perfect subjects meaning as if it was well thought of. The shapes are just perfectly done. I just don't like perfect squares. I just don't like perfect circles and all that. I hope I'm making sense. I hope you understand me. But I just don't like that. If you've seen my paintings, I have a lot, guys. So if you've seen them, you probably have seen them. They're quite paintings of nature, natural subjects. I really don't paint abstract. I really don't paint imaginary things. I don't paint perfectly shaped subjects. It's just not my style. It doesn't resonate with me. I'm gonna add some pure white. Okay, so just pure white right here, and I'm dabbing it quite shapelessly, meaning like blobs and dots, just like that, to create some natural texture on the avocado as you see it in real life. I guess we just have, you know, different styles for different artists. I'm going to highlight this area. I'm going to make some gray color. And I'm gonna use this gray to go back to those white highlights that I did to create some dimension. Just dab on some gray color. Like that. All right. Okay, wash your brush out. Okay, I'm going to get my pure black. Okay, pure black. And I'm just going to outline the avocado, the skin part. I'm just gonna go around using my black, okay? Like that. Right, and here I'm just gonna go around same manner. Okay, I made a mistake. Alright, and then I'm going to use the same brown to outline the rim of my avocado. Like this. And then I'm going to darken this. So, in this space. And just outline it. Okay, I need to wet my brush. I feel like it's drying super quick. Like that. Alright, okay, wash your brush out now. We're going to make some highlights on the skin. So I'll be using some phthalo green plus black and white. Maybe you can add a tiny bit of green oxide, like this color. Let's try to make some light highlights right here. So I'm ever so slightly applying it. I'm not making any hard line. Also here. I'll be adding a tiny bit of yellow. It's quite difficult to see. Like so, like that. And down here. Right, like that. All right. Wash your brush out. And I'm going to get some brown and black mixture. Okay, make sure that the brown is still visible. It should not be overpowered by black. Make sure it's just dark brown. And I'm going to use this color to apply it on this part of the avocado. You know, that part of the avocado where you identify, or where you determine if the avocado is fresh or if the avocado is creamy. I don't know if you know that way of determining whether the avocado is good to eat. I'm going to use the same color to apply some more spots on the seed. Like that. Alright, we will go back to the seed later. Let's just allow those to dry. Okay, we will highlight the seed later, making it more lifelike. For now, let's make some shadow. I actually am thinking if I'll be doing some shadows, but I feel like we should. Because yeah, I think we should, because it's better. It's better that way. Going to darken this area. Okay. Again, just like what we did here, we're going to outline the rim. Okay. Oops. All right, like that. Okay, let's make some shadows now before we go back to everything that we have done. Let's make some shadows, and I think this will make all the difference. So for the shadows, I'm just gonna use some watered down gray color. So I'm gonna use my black and then white, like so. So again, more black to make the shadow more visible. Maybe this gray. I don't know if this is enough. Maybe I'm gonna add more black. And the shadow will be right. Okay, this is enough gray. I'm gonna add water. Like so. And then I'm gonna go and spread that here. I'm using a big brush so that I can evenly distribute the gray color. Okay, the green is actually mixing, but I can cover. So I'm using my fingers just to apply the grayness. Alright. Like that. And then we're going to do a gray that is a shade lighter than this one. So I'm gonna add white to our existing gray color. And I'm gonna go right here. In the middle. And apply it here. That. Okay, I'll be removing the tape later. I just use the tape to margin my painting. Here. I mean, I could have done away with making the shadows, but I just don't want to yeah, do away with it, simply because I feel like it will make a huge difference if I do. I mean, if I don't do away with it. Okay, like so. Right. And let's go here. Actually, I can remove the bottom tape. Oops. Just for me to actually see how this looks like. And for me to actually go all the way down my canvas. Okay, I'm gonna use a smaller brush. Okay, I'm gonna glaze it with some white. I don't want it like too gray. Like that. Okay. Now I'm going to darken the innermost shadow. And for that, I'll be using the same gray color, only that I'll be using more black. Kind of go down. Like that. Okay. Let me check. All right. And we will, yeah, I think this is making sense now. But I have to make some more highlights later for us to identify where the light is coming from. But can you please excuse me, guys? I have to check my phone because I feel like there's an important message that I have to check. All right. So yeah. So I think yes, someone just commented on my painting, and yeah, the person kind of likes it. So yeah, let's go back to painting. I think this is making sense, right? Already. So I'm so glad. I'm so glad because I thought I won't be able to do the shadows, but I think I was able to do the shadows, which I'm just so happy about. And now let's go back to highlighting some yellows and greeny colors. And for that, I'll be using, okay, I'm actually seated on the floor, so my legs is quite like sleeping already. So I'm gonna use some white color. So I'm gonna use some white and yellow mixture of it. Okay, maybe I'm gonna add a tiny bit of more yellow. Let's just go and spread some. I'm gonna glaze, guys. And I don't mind the greeny color being mixed with my yellow. I think I kind of like the effect, right? So I'm just glazing. And you can hear the whistling sound of the wind because it's raining here, as I told you. I'm gonna get some brownie colors, water down. So I'm just gonna apply it like that. Here. Right. I'm gonna wash my brush out. I'm gonna get my yellows. This white and some greeny oxide. So I'm just gonna blend it again, like so. We're now in the stage of actually finishing it. So I'm gonna add some white to my green. Yeah, that's, I don't know if you can hear the whistling sound. You won't believe it, it's the wind. And from my place, you can actually hear everything here. The buzzing sound of the streets and the wind when there's typhoon, the rain. You can hear it. You can hear it from here, everything. So I'm just gonna lighten this a bit. Like that. This is nice. I'm going to get some yellow and browny color. Let's just expand this a bit. Like that. Like that. Maybe here as well. Like that. Okay, I'm just gonna continue this one because I feel like okay, I already ran out of black, so I'm just gonna get my black paint. Okay. And I'm just going to clean this area. And again, with the mixture of green and black, I'm just going to continue this. You know me, I love to paint like edge to edge. If you're not the type of person, it's okay. You can actually have some margins. But me, I love to paint edge to edge because it just gives me that full feeling. I don't know about you guys, but me, it's just like that. All right, really edge to edge, literally. I can even cut my paper right here and then put it in a frame or something like that. Okay, I'm just making it quite rounder. Like that. I think I have to make it quite bigger as well to match it, you know, it should match. Okay. I'm just gonna use some pure white. Actually, it's no longer pure white, but I need to clean some areas. I need to clean some areas where the paint went outside my sketch. And I'm going to, oops. Right, I just messed it up. So I'm going to clean it. Like so, yeah. As if nothing happened right now, right there. So I think I have to glaze it once more, the shadow part. So I'll be using some pure white, but tiny bit, guys. Don't overdo this step. Again, we don't want to remove the shadow by actually over glazing. So I'm just gonna use some pure white, and I need to kind of glaze. Just glaze. You know, therefore removing the hard lines. Wow, the whistling sound of the wind. I cannot overemphasize that, because I think my camera or this video is fully capturing the sound. If some colors are mixing with your white, I think that's fine. I don't mind really. I'm just glazing. just gonna go around that shadowed area like that, and here as well. And under, and then under, like that. So I'm just making some highlights right here, almost dry brushing. With the remaining white that's on my paint, and I'm just gonna spread that right here. That, and we're not yet done because we need to highlight the seed because we don't want to forget about the seed, right? I really want the shadow to be really shadow looking. I don't want it to be just, all right, like that, kind of like it. Okay, let's go back to this one. I'm gonna use some brown, yellow, and white. Okay, and with this color, I'm just gonna go and make some highlights. I think that's too much. Just highlight the seed. Alright, it's actually raining now. Like quite heavy. Okay, now I'm gonna apply some pure white. Like that. Right, there's a bug. Right, like I really like this one. I don't know, I like it. Okay, now I'm gonna apply some brown. So just burnt sienna, okay? And let's apply some browns. It's like glazing it with brown. You know, we should not really overdo this step We just have to glaze it, meaning apply it ever so slightly on the canvas, not over painting or painting over what we've done. Like that. I kind of like this one. Right. I'm gonna use some yellow, and yeah, like that. Just glazing it. Let me check. Oh my gosh, I love it. Sorry for my reaction, guys. I just felt so good about this one. I kind of like this one. I'm gonna apply some white colors, kind of watered down white. Then let's go back to here. Okay, I really like this one. Okay. All right, so I think I have to sign this now. This is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. Gosh, I love it, guys. So I'm just gonna add a tiny bit of brownie colors right here, just to add some natural effect to our avocado. Don't have to do that set, but I kind of like, oh my gosh, I really like this one. Okay, I think I have to sign this now, and for the signature I'll just use, actually guys, although I asked you to prepare some green oxide, we hardly use this color, so I'm just gonna use this color for my signature since I already have it here. And for my signature I'll be signing, I don't know, right here. That's good. Okay, I think we're done. We're done, guys! Yay! Yay! We're done, and I hope you like this one. I hope you enjoy this one. And if you like this one, please share this with your friends. Share this on your social media. And of course, guys, sorry, I have to get... Okay, I have to add some tiny bit of yellowness to here, because I don't like it to be super white. Okay. Alright, as I was saying, if you like this video, if you like this tutorial, please give me a like, share this video with your friends on your social media, tag me on your Facebook or Instagram if you like, and show me your versions of this painting following my tutorial. See you in my next video, guys.